She's busy keeping her eye on the cub across the room, unaware of the little guy sneaking up behind her and landing a nip on her backside. Mama seems to take the shenanigans in stride.
Everybody wants to be somebody.
Listen to Fiona the hippo give her mom a raspberry kiss. Mom seems to enjoy it.
Finally, a sleepy kitty named Taro has the perfect idea on a cold, rainy day. The video was taken after the 12-week-old kitten's recent vaccinations, which made him a little sleepy. As we wrap up the week, we feel you, Taro. Enjoy your nap.
And that's this week's edition of the News Hounds Now Update.
Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.
Right now at 5, we're hearing how bystanders stepped in to try to save the man who was hit and killed crossing East Washington Avenue last night, and what police are saying about the incident.
And the weather is taking quite the turn this weekend. How frost chances are impacting hemp farmers.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 5.
Thanks for staying with us tonight at 5. The driver who hit and killed a pedestrian on East Washington Avenue last night told police that the man came out of nowhere.
A preliminary investigation shows he wasn't impaired or speeding when the man in his 30s crossed the street in front of his vehicle. Our Amanda Quintana on East Wash, where it happened. She has more details. Amanda?
Yes, it was just after 7:30 last night. The driver told police that the light was green here on Baldwin Street, so he went, and that's when a man ran right in front of his car. Shortly after, bystanders jumped out to help.
I couldn't get it out of the look of the victim's face, and I couldn't get it off of my mind. It was very traumatically experienced, and I just can't imagine. It just happened so fast.
Phil Ivy was just a few cars behind the crash.
It just happened and the light was green.
Getting out of his car when he saw a pedestrian lying on the median.
So I went over there and I went and felt his pulse, and yeah, he was gone.
Despite other drivers trying compressions, the man in his 30s died at the scene. After hearing from the driver, police believe it was an accident and have no reason to believe he was impaired or distracted.
Suddenly, a pedestrian ran in front of his car. He said he never saw him until there was a collision. He stopped immediately. He's been very helpful with us in terms of the investigation.
The man crossed in the middle of the block, right in front of traffic near the intersection of Baldwin. Police aren't sure why. Ivy says in his 2 jobs as a driver, he sees too many close calls with pedestrians.
Even on crosswalks, they think they could walk right in front of a traffic, and I've seen several cars, including myself, slam their brakes because they're just stepping right in front. You can't do that.
He hopes this accident serves as a reminder to pedestrians to not trust that a car will stop for you.
Hug your loved ones and never hold a grudge, never, because you just don't know how fast your life is gone.
Right now, police don't plan to cite or charge the driver. They are still waiting for blood test results to make sure that he was not impaired.
Amanda Quintana, live downtown. Amanda, thank you. One of the 2 men involved in a fatal shooting at a Madison gas station has been sentenced to life in prison without parole. The shooting happened at the 7-Eleven on the West Beltline Highway in August of 2017, killing 32-year-old Kendrith Young of Waukesha. 35-year-old Demetrius Reeves was caught on surveillance video at a nearby bar before that shooting. Then 2 masked men were seen on camera shooting Young. The judge said today's sentencing should be a deterrent for others in the community.
It should be made abundantly clear that if someone in this community is considering assassinating another person in this community, they should be prepared to spend the rest of their lives behind bars.
Curtis Langlois was also sentenced to life without parole in the shooting. A criminal complaint says he told Reeves he wanted to kill the victim because he was, quote, looking at him all crazy. Also in court today, one of the men charged in a string of burglaries and car thefts across southern Wisconsin, 24-year-old Cleaster Moon, was arrested over the weekend. Prosecutors say Moon has a substantial criminal record. He was given a $20,000 bond for each charge he is facing. That totals $100,000. Preliminary hearing will be held next week.
We have an alert day in the forecast for a freeze tonight. Let's get a look at the weekend weather. Meteorologist Dana Fulton is on the weather patio, all bundled up. Hi, Dana.
Hey, it's a little cold. It certainly feels like we skipped ahead to the middle of November with these temperatures and the wind chill right now. A little bit of a dreary, chilly day, and of course the breeze, a big topic for us right now. Here's a live look with our WISC-TV sky cam of the cloudy sky. We're sitting close to 41 in Madison. Our temperatures were in the mid-40s early this morning and have just been falling throughout the day. That breeze right now at about 8 to 15 miles per hour. Gusts have been picking up closer to the lower 20s. And with that wind chill, it feels like we're in the mid-30s right now. Thankfully, a bit of a break in the rain. We had some light rain early this morning, but notice up near the Twin Cities right now, they are dealing with some light snowfall. And that wraparound moisture may be sinking south, heading in our direction. Again, tonight it's going to be very cold. Temperatures will fall close to freezing, if not below. So that's going to wrap up the growing season for a lot of areas. And the cold air is going to stay through the weekend. We'll take a closer look at your weekend forecast in just a few minutes.
Right, Dana, thank you. Amid the wet weather and frost on the way, some hemp farmers in our area are working against the clock to get their crop harvested.
Rose Schmidt back from Deerfield to tell us how the hemp season has been. Rose?
Well, the biggest problem has been with the big rainstorms. It's been a wet season. Water leads to mold, and those spores can spread quickly. The Hanson family out in Deerfield has operated a dairy farm for the last 60 years. This is their first season growing hemp, and they planted nearly 30 acres. They're calling friends and working as fast as possible to strip the plants and dry them so that the crops don't develop mold. They've lost about 1/8 of their crops so far, and right now they're putting in 12-hour days.
It really is day by day. I mean, we don't really have a plan each time. We don't really know what to expect. We're first-year farmers this year for hemp. We didn't realize it would take up this much drying space for 30 acres, and we didn't realize our plants would get this big.
The Hansons have about 10 more days left of harvesting, trying to finish up before the big cold comes in. They're actually considering burning hay bales overnight and putting them at different ends of the field to try to keep off that frost.
All right, Rose Schmidt reporting. Rose, thank you. Now, speaking of that weather, right now, North Dakota, parts of Interstates 94 and 29 are closed due to a winter storm. The DOT out there says heavy snow and winds are making for life-threatening conditions on the roads. Police have responded to dozens of crashes. Only one person has been injured so far, though. The storm could break October snow records across much of the Dakotas as it intensifies and dumps up to 2 feet of snow through tonight.
Today on Capitol Hill, the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine had a closed-door deposition. In her opening statement, Marie Yovanovitch claims she was told she was removed as ambassador due to a concerted campaign against her, and that the department had been under pressure from the president to remove her since the summer of 2018. Yovanovitch was recalled to Washington in May after the president's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, claimed that she was blocking his efforts to get Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden and his son Hunter.
I heard very, very bad things about it for a long period of time. Not good.
Two associates of Giuliani, Lev Parnas and Igor Fruman, were arrested Wednesday, accused of illegally funneling foreign donations to political campaigns, including $325,000 to a pro-Trump super PAC. They're also accused of meeting with congressional members on Capitol Hill in an attempt to have Ambassador Yovanovitch ousted from her job.
New at 5, conditions at the state's troubled youth prison have, quote, vastly improved. That's according to a court monitor's report that was filed yesterday. The prison has been the subject of a number of lawsuits that have resulted in millions of dollars in payouts to former inmates who have alleged abuse by the staff's correctional officers over the past 4 years. According to the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, the court monitor has been overseeing an overhaul of practices at the prison, improved staffing levels, and added programming for teens. You'll see even more red around Madison this weekend.
Thousands of Badgers, past and present, are back on campus for homecoming this weekend. This year's theme is Home is Where We are, WIR. There are more than 440,000 Badger alumni around the world. 38% of all grads still live here in Wisconsin, and more than 80,000 live in Dane County. You'll see many of them lining State Street for tonight's homecoming parade. It starts at 6 o'clock.
We shouldn't have any trouble with the parade. It might be a little chilly, but we're used to that in Wisconsin. So layer up and come and show your Badger pride.
Layer up, that's good advice. Several downtown streets will be closed for the parade. Head to our website, channel3000.com, for a list of road closures, plus a full schedule of all of the homecoming events this weekend.
More local news now. After 4 months of renovations, the Wilmar Neighborhood Center is celebrating its grand reopening on Sunday. Located on Jennifer Street, it is Madison's first neighborhood center. It served more than 250,000 people since it opened more than 50 years ago. The building itself is 115 years old and in need of upgrades after welcoming 800 visitors a week and harsh Wisconsin winters. Floor 360 and Design for a Difference Madison selected the Wilmar Center for their annual makeover project. And there's an open house for the space Sunday from 11 until 3.
We have a very sad story to tell you about tonight that unfortunately affects one of our own here at News 3 Now.
Unfortunately, we report on fatal car crashes more than anyone would like to. Last night, 24-year-old Levi Linscheid was killed in a Grant County crash. Levi is the brother of our morning anchor, Leah Linscheid. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says his car was discovered this morning at 7 a.m. after an overnight crash. His car left the road and hit a guardrail before going over a cement barrier. They don't know just yet what caused that crash. Leah's family has issued a statement. Levi will be remembered for his unmatched kindness, his commitment to God, and his endless love for his family. He was universally beloved. As a fitness instructor, his job was to teach and inspire. His memory will continue to do that in all of the lives he touched.
Our general manager, Tom Keeler, says the entire Morgan Murphy Media family is heartbroken, and we extend our most heartfelt condolences to Leah and her family. Leah, you and your family are front and center in all of our hearts and prayers, and we will be with you every step along the way. Funeral arrangements for Levi are pending. We'll be right back.
Reigning NBA MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo is expecting a child. The Bucks superstar's girlfriend Mariah Dene Riddlespringer announced the news today. An image she posted showed a stuffed animal and a baby Antetokounmpo jersey with a frame saying "Baby Freak" coming soon. Lizzo's "Cause I Love You" tour picked up a new crew member during their stop in Madison yesterday, a puppy named Pocahontas, or Poke for short.
And Lizzo is shining a light on animal shelters and rescues. Our Gabriella Becerra shows us how this puppy came to find a home on Lizzo's tour bus.
Who's going pee-pee on the pee-pee pad?
The request came straight from Lizzo herself.
Who's going pee-pee on the pee-pee pad?
She asks for rescues or shelters to provide animals for puppy parties.
And this time,
don't break my nail, that's a whole flight.
One of her crew members adopted one of the puppies.
Usually our adoptions don't happen so quickly, but all of our ducks fell right in a row. And the foster mom thought it was a great fit for the puppy. And the puppy has a new name already. Instead of Saba, it's now Pocahontas, or they're calling her Poke.
Underdog Pet Rescue of Wisconsin founder Lauren Watajic says the puppy will be loved by many.
It's a really close-knit crew. They all seem to really have a lot of fun and help each other out and get along. So it seems like our little dog, who was adopted because the crew member fell in love with her, is going to have a really fun life with lots of attention and endless snuggles.
These puppies are for adoption. If you've enjoyed my stories today and you live in Madison, Wisconsin area, these puppies are up for adoption. Underdog Pets. Cuties.
Watajic says she appreciates Lizzo using her celebrity platform to bring attention to rescues and shelters.
But especially when people like Lizzo go out of their way to take us on their Instagram page, so many more people are going to learn about us. And whether it means an extra donation around the holidays, or whether it means somebody knows about us so that they can adopt their next pet through us.
In Madison,
they got all tuckled out.
Gabriella Becerra, News 3 Now.
Underdog Pet Rescue of Wisconsin will fulfill puppy parties in exchange for a donation to the rescue. For more information on the opportunities for volunteering, fostering, or adopting cats or dogs from the Underdog Pet Rescue of Wisconsin, visit our website, channel3000.com.
That looks like the little RCA puppy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Those old commercials. All right, turning to weather now. We are seeing the change. It is here. Your First Alert weather. Dana is here with more.
Right now, it's a little cool outside. Thankfully, getting a bit of a break in the rain, though. Of course, this morning we had some light showers, some heavier showers in spots. Now, a little bit of a mist for some areas, but overall just a mostly cloudy sky with rain off to the east. And yes, snow up towards the Twin Cities into Fargo and the Dakotas. They're dealing with a little heavier snowfall right now. This is all as this big system continues to drive right on over the Midwest. The first cold front passing through early this morning. I'm confident that you noticed the big temperature change in the last 24 hours. As that front continues to pass east, we're still looking at some wraparound moisture to come through for Saturday. This low pressure off to the northwest is going to still swing down. A few more snow chances for northwest Wisconsin, and some of those snow chances, just some light snow showers, might start to dip down closer to the southern edge of the state, looking at late Saturday, overnight, and into early Sunday morning. The second cold front is just going to reinforce the cold air for Sunday. Our temperatures are going to stay in the mid-40s for our highs on Sunday, but behind that, we are expecting a nice drying trend as some high pressure will start to build on in. Though on Sunday, it is still going to stay pretty cloudy outside. Looking at the breakdown with that timing again, overall, it is going to be very chilly tonight. It's the reason we do have that freeze warning in effect. Temperatures will fall close to freezing, if not just below. North of Dane County, likely going to be in the upper 20s with those wind chills even lower than that. For Saturday morning, we'll start off dry, but that wraparound moisture sinks south later in the evening, and there's going to be a very tight line between folks who see some flurries or light snow showers or just some light rainfall. So where that line ends up, of course, is going to be the dividing factor between who gets some snow and who just sees showers late on Saturday and early Sunday morning. Otherwise, Sunday, plan on a dry day. Just a variably cloudy sky. Wind chills early tomorrow morning will be in the upper teens, close to 20 degrees, so a very cold start to the day. And even around game time later on, those wind chills are still going to be several degrees below our actual temperatures. So plan on bundling up if you're headed outside at all for your Saturday. Overnight temperatures fall through the 30s, landing close to freezing overnight. Again, some areas will be in the upper 20s. Early tomorrow morning, we might get just a little bit of sun before that cloud coverage builds back in. The shower chances, the light isolated shower chances will start to pick up later in the evening, with those snow chances also creeping further south overnight into Sunday morning. By Sunday, our temps climb back into the middle 40s, but wind chill also going to be a factor for Sunday. It'll yet again feel a few degrees lower than our actual temperatures. That freeze warning is now in effect for all those southern Wisconsin overnight until about 9 o'clock on Saturday. That's when our temperatures will finally start to climb above freezing. So anything sensitive outside, that's plants and pets, and make sure you bring them in overnight. Plan on a low of about 31 in Madison. Partly cloudy sky tonight with that freeze warning in effect. Windy and chilly tomorrow with the afternoon and evening shower/snow shower chances picking on up. Saturday and Sunday, our afternoon highs will be in the middle 40s. By Monday morning, patchy frost still possible with temperatures falling into the 30s overnight. Next week, we'll have a little bit of an increase in our temperatures, though it'll still be below average. It does seem like we'll be in a bit of a drier stretch also for next week. A slight chance for showers on Tuesday, but otherwise partly cloudy skies. And by next weekend, a few more rain chances will be creeping back through as well. But it'll be nice to be back closer to 50 rather than these cold temperatures in the middle 40s like mid-November. Unfortunately, this shaky traffic cam due to the wind on 39 and 90 is trying to take a closer look at the Janesville area. 39 and 90 northbound right now is actually closed just beyond County Highway S because of a crash. It's been closed for quite some time. And you can see that extends all the way south of the state line from Janesville, both north and southbound affected by that accident. Along the Beltline, the westbound side a little slower than usual, and getting into Sauk City will take you a little longer due to that spot on 12 where it's down to just one lane. From Janesville to the Beltline, it'll be 26 minutes, 16 minutes to get from Sauk City to Middleton, and Sun Prairie to downtown, about 17 minutes this evening. That's a quick look at traffic.
All right, thanks, Dana.
Still ahead at 5 as the number of lung injuries due to vaping continues to rise. Doctors are learning to identify the signs and symptoms that may have been missed before those injuries. Stay with us.
General Motors' worker strike has caused more than $1 billion in losses for the company. Vehicle production has been halted since the strike started on September 16th. In a letter to employees today, GM told the United Auto Workers Union that it's time the two sides reached a deal. Negotiations stalled over the weekend after the auto company rejected the union's latest contract proposal.
If you booked a holiday flight with United Airlines, watch out for some changes. United leaders were optimistic that the Boeing 737 MAX would be recertified by the FAA by now. So they were booking the MAX for December and early January, but the plane is still grounded after those two deadly crashes within 5 months. Thousands of flights will be canceled and automatically rebooked. You will be notified if your flight is affected and are eligible for a full refund if you don't like the new flight.
Next at 5, there are new concerns about vaping.
And now health officials are giving doctors more guidance about how to spot lung injuries. Hillary Lane now with the latest.
21-year-old Carrie Chonsky says she started vaping to stop smoking cigarettes.
I didn't think it could be that bad, and it really almost killed me.
She just spent 2 weeks in a New Jersey hospital from using e-cigarettes.
Just even like getting up to go to the bathroom, like I can't breathe. Like even now, like I'm still recovering and talking too much, like I get out of breath, I get winded so easy.
Nearly 1,300 cases of lung injury associated with e-cigarettes and vaping products have now been confirmed in nearly all states. 26 people have died. The CDC released new guidance for doctors evaluating and caring for patients.
More than 90% of people have respiratory symptoms like cough, chest pain, shortness of breath, but more than 3 in 4 describe gastrointestinal symptoms like nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain.
Close follow-up of patients is also recommended, since some with mild symptoms worsen quickly. Others recovering had to be readmitted to the hospital. Most patients with lung injuries from vaping have a history of using products containing THC, the ingredient in marijuana that produces a high. But federal health officials say they can't rule out the possibility that products containing nicotine may also play a role in the outbreak.
CDC recommends that you do not use THC-containing vaping products at this time. We also recommend that e-cigarettes should not be used by youth, young adults, or pregnant women.
The CDC is also urging doctors to work with injured vaping patients on quitting for good. Hillary Lane, CBS News, New York.
With 15% of the cases reported in people under 18, parents are encouraged to talk to their kids about the dangers of vaping. Stay with us. We'll have another final check of your weekend forecast in just a moment.
Tonight on the CBS Evening News, deadly wildfires force 100,000 people from their homes in Southern California. We're at the scene of the largest fire. Our series Medical Price Roulette looks into a cost-saving alternative for routine surgeries. And Steve Hartman's on the road with a man who's whipping up a sweet new career at 93. Those stories and more tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Want to remind you, too, our Prep Mania Game of the Week. Sun Prairie, the host tonight. Jay Wilson will be live there. The Cardinals taking on the other Cardinals from Middleton, both 5-2. It's week 8, just 2 weeks left of the regular season. We are covering a handful of other games tonight under the rainy Friday night lights, or the cold Friday night lights, I should say. You can catch all the action tonight on News 3 now at 10.
You're going to bundle
up.
Get your whole gear ready to go because it's chilly outside. Not just temperatures, but with the wind chill, it really does feel closer to the middle or end of November rather than early October. Temperatures tomorrow will be in the mid-40s. We have a freeze warning in effect for Saturday morning as temps will fall below freezing overnight. We're looking at the chance for some light showers late in the day on Saturday. May see some snowflakes mix into those showers as well.
All right, stay tuned now for the CBS Evening News. We're back in 30 minutes.